Hello, this is Mr. Frost. Welcome to a brief introduction to GCSE Computer Science for your upcoming GCSE options. The first thing to notice is the distinction between IT and computer science and computing. So far you've been studying computing in your computing lessons, which has been a combination of computer science and IT topics. In Year 9, you've got a big choice to make, as there are only two pathways to continue with in the future. This is a change to previous years where you've also had to choose computing. This is a presentation about GCSE Computer Science, which focuses on more about how computers work, how to control them with programming. IT is a separate qualification which looks at how to use computers to create items for a client. Our IT option that we offer at Attleborough Academy is Creative iMedia, and there's more information about this in the Creative iMedia presentation. You've just recently been working in your computing lessons on a unit called Computer Science versus IT, where we have done a unit on geometric artwork in Scratch and Python. This is much more like what you'll be doing in computer science, which is what this presentation is about. And you've also been doing a film festival poster using Affinity Photo to create a poster for a particular client for Gloucester Film Festival. This is much more what it's like in Creative iMedia. And if you'd like more information about Creative iMedia, then as I say, please refer to that presentation. So, what do you learn in computer science? Well, it's all 100% assessed by exam, but it's incredibly practical as well. As you'll see on the left-hand side, the first exam, Computer Systems, is all about how computers work. What are the hardware components inside a computer? What are networks and how do networks work? How can we keep them secure? What types of software we can run on computers, and the ethical and cultural and environmental impacts of using technology. Paper 2, which is focused on computational thinking and algorithms and programming, is much more practical. Although it's a written exam, we are going to teach you how to program in Python to be able to answer the questions that you'll be given in this exam, which makes it really practical, really useful for your future career in computer science. There are lots of really well paid jobs, which we'll come back to later, that rely on you knowing these programming skills. We'll also be undertaking a variety of different programming projects over the 2 years in order to pass the programming project, which is 20 hours worth of project-based programming. So in paper 1, we look at systems architecture. These are the computer components of a computer system and how they work. In our first lesson, we will actually build a computer system to see how all of those components connect with each other, and we'll then look further in detail as to how they operate. We then look at memory and storage, how storage devices and how memory devices have developed over the years, and how to represent different pieces of data, such as numbers, images and pictures and sound, in computer code called binary. We'll also look at networks and how these work, as well as how the internet works, and the threats that can be posed by others on the internet and how we can stop those threats from happening. We'll then look at some of the moral, legal and environmental issues that come with computing, and what laws there are to protect us from those, and what you can do to be a good digital citizen. In paper 2, we look at some of the traditional computing algorithms that control our search engines and control our social media sites, such as searching and sorting algorithms. And we'll also look at the skills that you need to be a good computational thinker, those skills that you need to be able to solve problems with or without a computer. And we put all of those together to be able to make us good computational thinkers, looking at how algorithms are created, decomposition, pattern matching, abstraction, so on and so forth. meaning that you will be able to be really creative with your solutions, coming up with your own unique ideas and your own unique ways of solving those problems, and then being able to program them on a computer. The language that we use to help you do this is Python, and you will have looked at this in Year 8 and Year 9 to a certain degree. We'll be teaching you this right up to being able to search databases using SQL. We'll also be looking at how to store text files. We'll also be looking at loops, if statements, 1D and 2D arrays. So why should you choose computer science? Well, I think it's a really interesting subject because it is up and coming. Everybody's talking about it, and there's never ever going to be a moment where we don't need computer scientists in our life. Why be a person that sits behind a desk and is controlled by a computer when you can be the person behind it, programming that solution, programming those softwares that are going to control the world? It's a really great combination of theory and practical programming. People often say, oh, computer science isn't very creative or isn't very dynamic. Well, that's absolutely false, because we're looking at how to solve problems in a really creative way, and you can come up with your own solution, potentially one that I haven't thought of. Only 0.5% of the world's population have these programming skills. And as a result of that, there are more jobs that need to be filled than there are people that will fill them. Therefore, those businesses that are looking for those people who are trained are paying an awful lot of money. Every single year that I look at this, it goes up. It's gone up more than £10,000 since I did this PowerPoint 3 years ago, which just goes to show how in demand you will be if you choose computer science. And not only that, it's going to qualify you for jobs of the future that don't exist yet. Many jobs could be replaced by AI in the future. Well, with computer science, you'll understand how that all works and be able to take that through further. You will never ever, as a computer scientist, be surpassed by artificial intelligence, because we always need people to maintain those systems. Lots of fantastic careers in computer science. In particular, I wanted to talk about hardware engineering and cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is a big area of need in this country. There are lots more job vacancies than there are people to fill them, and we're actually a world leader in cybersecurity systems in the UK. Hardware engineer, did you know just down the road in Cambridge there is a company that designs the blueprint for every single CPU chip that is used in just about every single device in the world, and it's just down the road in Cambridge. Choosing a career in computer science will lead to these really fantastic and interesting jobs which are going to have a big and lasting impact. So not only is it rewarding in what you learn, but it's also rewarding in what you can do for others and the world in the future. It works really well with business studies, product design, graphics, maths and physics, and very often I find, as I teach business studies as well, lots of my students also study business studies. I in the past studied computer science alongside product design, and it's really good to understand how we break problems down and how we then come up with the steps, we call those algorithms in computer science, to build up a program that's based on those things. So what computer science is, it is highly creative. You're going to be solving brand new problems with code. It's really high skilled. Although you're being assessed through an exam, there is a high degree of hands-on programming skills, lots and lots of doing, and I deliberately teach it like this at Attleborough Academy because I think it's really important that you go away with those practical skills which are going to earn you lots and lots of money in the future. It is relevant now and in the future, and it is massively highly demand. It needs you to help us stay as world leaders in those particular areas. So why not choose computer science and help fill those skills gaps? What it isn't, well, it's not about programming games. Yes, we will be programming some games, but it's all about resilience, putting time and effort into programming. It's not just all about programming. I always have a lot of people say, oh, it'll be great because my son or my daughter is always on their Xbox. Well, that doesn't necessarily help you. Okay, it's all about being able to be resilient, be tenacious, and solve those problems. I'm going to be giving you 1 hour's worth of programming homework per week. A lot of it will be continuing work that we've started in lessons, but it takes an awful lot of practice. Other than that, I set no other homework other than programming homework. What will you need at home? Well, you might need a PC or a laptop at home. It's not compulsory because I do open up the IT rooms at lunchtime for you to be able to use. I also run after school programming clubs and intervention clubs, which I will invite you to, but it is highly recommended. It is possible, but very difficult sometimes to program on mobile devices. So again, I do recommend having a PC or laptop at home, but we can help you out as a school if you need those. If you are looking at buying your own laptop, I am more than happy to give you some recommendations and some tips to use when looking at that. You're also going to need access to the internet, so being able to access your Go for Schools from home and being able to access a web browser to be able to upload and submit your homework at the end. It's also going to require a great imagination in order to how to solve those problems and fix things yourself. These computational thinking skills that you need to be able to be good at. Why at Attleborough Academy? Well, we are always developing our IT facilities. We've got brand new computers in the IT rooms now. We are a team that are computer science specialists, which is rare nationally, let alone in the East as well. And we have a great deal of support to help you extend and challenge you. The sky's the limit with computer science. All of our resources are self-differentiated and they extend and push people right to the top of your maximum of your capability. And we have a programming site that can help you do that. You can have a look at it now if you'd like to. It's tinyurl.com/AA programming. You just need to sign in with your school email address and password. You can find out more about the units that we teach and the options that we offer in the computing department on our school website. If you go onto curriculum, subjects and computing, you'll also be able to identify the sequence that we teach these in as well and rationale behind that. If you have any questions or want to know more about computer science, then please get in touch. My email address is on the screen there. I'm really looking forward to you choosing GCSE as your computer science as your option in the future and working with you then.